Hey everybody, welcome to another Cricut craft tutorial. Today we are going to make some awesome tic-tac-toe Valentine's Day bags. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos all the time. If you're looking for any tutorials, put those in the comments below because I make these tutorials because you guys ask for them. So let's get started. All you're going to need is just a few items. Little gems, I got these at the Dollar Tree. I got red and pink. A little burlap bag, which I got from Amazon. I will link that below. These are awesome and they're great for all sorts of different crafts. You're going to need some HTV, and depending on the design you want to go with, you may need more than one color. I needed two and I used glitter HTV, and then just a little fun and ingenuity for Design Space. So let's go over to Design Space so I can show you guys how we're going to make this. In Design Space, we are going to make our tic-tac-toe board pieces and then our name for our little bag. So the first thing we'll start with is just the tic-tac-toe board, and it's really easy to make. Open up your shapes and open up a square because we're going to use a template just to show us how much space we have to work with. So obviously we measured our item. I'm going to unlock our square. We have about 4 inches wide. I like to make sure that I probably have it closer to about 4.5 inches. So let's go ahead and go with 4.5 inches. I'm just double checking my measurements because I did measure and then I forget sometimes. And I probably have about 5 inches high to work with. Now it's going to depend on your bag or whatever you're putting this on. So make sure you do measure. But this is going to be our template to work with. And this just helps me see how much space I'm working with. So I'm going to go ahead and just enter the name, and I'll just make this for myself because I don't have kids. So I'm just going to make a name, find a fun font. There are some really, really pretty ones with like hearts in them. I can't remember the name of it, so let me scroll down and find it for you guys. But there are some cute ones, and sorry, my computer is apparently deciding that it's going to run out of battery in the middle of this. So I will plug that in. But there are some cute ones, and on DeFont is where I find 90% of my fonts. So it's great because they're all free. Now you can't sell stuff with most of them, but you can use the fonts for things like this for gifts and whatnot. But you can buy commercial licenses for some of them. So let's find the one with the hearts in it because it's so cute. And certain letters have our little hearts, and I know that it's not too far down the list. At least I think. Let's see if I can find it. There it is. So the name of this one is Fool for Love. And I just think it's so stinking cute. And depending on the name, obviously, it will depend on what it looks like. So we'll just stick that down there. And the next thing we're going to do is make our tic-tac-toe board. So we're going to use a square. And you're going to unlock your square and make it super thin. It depends on how you want to make it. It's whatever you want to do with it. And I'm going to change the color of it, which, as you guys know, Design Space has updated. So all colors and type and print and all that is up here at the top towards the left side. So I'm going to do this in like a pink on the bag. It's going to be a pink glitter. So I'll just make it pink so I can see it and see what it's going to look like. So let's move our line over to our bag just to see about sizing space. And that looks pretty good. So let's duplicate this. And we're going to just duplicate it real quick like. And then I'm going to duplicate it again because we actually need 4 of these. So make 4 lines. So we'll move that over. I'm going to select these 2 because I can see that they're not aligned. Select these 2 lines and you're going to come up here to align and choose just align top or align bottom, and that will align them on your, it'll align them together so that they're even. So now we're going to go ahead and turn this guy. And we might need to make the side ones a little bit longer than the top and bottom, like the up and down ones, but we'll see. And I can see that that's not straight, so I'm just going to fix that. Honestly, this is probably the most annoying part, is trying to make these completely straight. There we go, that one's straight. And that one's straight. So what I do now is I take this and just sort of even them out, and I select the center ones, so just the 2 that go that way, and you're going to align them. You can either align them left or right, whatever. And then what I do is I attach the 2 that go horizontal and then the 2 that go vertical. You attach. And the reason that you do this is because you're going to select the vertical lines and the horizontal lines. You're going to select a line and you're going to center them. What that does is it gives you a perfectly centered board. Super easy, super simple to do. Nothing crazy. And now you need to weld. The reason you're welding is because it's going to make it one piece so that it cuts out. Now from here you can resize it to whatever size you want to do. If you're going to put tic-tac-toe on the bag, you want to leave some space. If you're just going to leave it plain, you can just leave some space. But I'm just going to leave mine plain. I'm just going to do it as a tic-tac-toe board. I'm not going to do anything else with it because you can always put that on the back of it as well. So we see that it fits in our template just fine. No big deal. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. And we're going to do the little X's and O's. So all I'm going to do is just open text and I'm just going to go OX. Nothing too crazy, but I don't want to use the same font because I don't like the hearts. I just want something super simple, kind of fat and chunky. So I'm going to go back up to the top, see what these look like. Those are fine. They will work. Now these are going to have to be really small because the hearts that I showed you before are, I mean, itty bitty. They're really small. So you're going to measure your heart and you've probably got about 1/2 inch to work with total. I personally like to ungroup these letters and do them separately because the X is a little bit different shape. So reduce your size of your O, and I like to make it just pretty tiny. I mean, you've got to go pretty small with these to fit them. And then the X we're going to do just tiny as well. And those should be good to go. Now we are going to cut these in different types of materials. We're going to do the X and the O in just a regular vinyl. And we're going to do these in HTV. So we want to make sure that we change the color of the X and the O so that we can change the type of product that we're cutting on. So I'm just going to throw it on a purple just so that I can cut it separately and we don't have to worry about it because you can change your material type when you're doing a project. So it's really nice because it saves you just a little bit of time. So let's click Make It and we'll see which one it wants us to cut first. It's going to have us cut Corinne first. I'm doing this on a glitter gold. So we're going to go ahead and mirror it. You're going to want to cut this one on glitter HTV for this project. You don't have to mirror this. This one, it won't matter if you mirror it. I'll show you guys. When you click mirror it, it's the exact same. So it doesn't matter. But you definitely need to make sure you mirror your name. And then these guys are going to just cut on an adhesive vinyl. Let's go ahead and get our mat loaded, and then I'll show you guys. We'll set the materials here. Let's go ahead and do that first so you guys can see. Click Continue. Now on your Explore series, you are going to turn your dial to Custom, and you're going to see where it has, it'll be similar idea to this, and you're going to click Browse All Materials. At the Maker, it just brings it up. So remember that with the Explore series, you do need to change your dial to Custom. We're going to look up glitter. And it'll bring up a bunch of different glitter options. We are using glitter iron-on, so go ahead and click Done on that. It tells you what to do. It says make sure that you have your mirror turned on and your shiny side down on the mat, and it shows you what tools to load. So with that being said, let's get over to the machine and we can load our mats. I have a brand new green mat. Love a good new mat. And then this is our glitter vinyl. Now we can clearly see this is the shiny side. This is the dull side. So you're going to put that down on your mat. I'm just using some scraps of like random stuff that I have. This is a perfect project for scraps, honest to God. I love these for scraps. They're great. So let's go ahead and stick that down. I'm going to pull my machine away from my wall. The Maker likes to suck it all the way in where the Explorer doesn't seem to do that. So I gotta scoop my Maker away from the wall. And we're going to load our material. And you're just going to click Go. And then you'll click the little Cricut button. I'll move you guys so you can see that little Cricut is on. And what it's going to do, it's going to detect your tool if you have the Maker. In your Explorer, it should just pull it in and start cutting. But the Maker with the Adaptive Tools series, it does have to detect what tool you're using. So we're going to cut out our glitter iron-on. We're going to use adhesive vinyl, and I need to show you guys over on the screen because I need to make 5 because we're using 5 of the gems. So I'm going to show you guys real quick over on the machine, or over on Design Space, how you tell it how many you need to cut of one item. And we'll just use some scrap vinyl for that too, because these are great for scrap projects. So let's go over to the screen after this one is done cutting, and I'll show you how to do that. We're ready to cut with the adhesive vinyl, but we need to do a couple things. We actually need to change our type of material, and then we also need to change our project copies. But I will tell you, I thought that it would let me change my project copies, and it won't. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cancel my cut. This is totally fine if you realize that you maybe screwed up something like I just did. So you can do one of two things. You can duplicate this 5 times, or you can click Make It. And if you just want it to make this mat, up here at the top, Project Copies, click 5, click Apply, and it's going to give you 5 of everything else, but you can just ignore those. If you select your purple mat to cut your X's and your O's and click Continue, it'll just cut your purple mat. So we're going to set our material. Now this is just going to be regular vinyl, so select vinyl, no big deal, regular pressure. And I apologize for the beeping. That is my video camera, which doesn't like to be left on. It's very picky. And we're going to put our vinyl on our mat. And I'm just going to do that off camera so you guys don't have to watch it. And we'll just let it cut. You guys don't really need to see it cut vinyl. And then we can get ready to apply everything. I weeded everything out, and then I'm just using a medium tack transfer tape from 651 vinyl. And all I did was I just stuck the O to the transfer tape. Now I did pre-clean these with some alcohol. But all you need to do is just put your letter right onto your heart and peel. And there you go. And this only takes just a moment to do. These are pretty quick and easy, so you can really knock these out super fast. And we'll do the X in red. You can do these however you want. I mean, you can mix up the colors, or you can do all the X's in red and all the O's in white or in blue. Whatever color they are. My goodness, pink. It just depends on how you want to do them. I just am going to do them all. Pinks are going to be the O's, and all reds are going to be the X's. But you can see this goes so fast, you guys. You can make a whole ton of these for an entire class in just a few minutes, at least for the little pieces. So we'll get over to our heat press here in just a moment, and we will do, we'll get the rest ready to press. But I'm going to show you something real quick. So that O in the name had a little gold heart left over after I pulled it off, and I just didn't want to waste it. So like, I'm going to take my little weeded out tic-tac-toe board, and I'm going to take my little gold heart, and I'm going to make sure to place it, and I'm going to just do it so it's going to look like that when it's done. It's going to have a little gold heart in it. I just thought it'd be cute and a way not to waste a little bit of HTV that is just adorable. So we are going to do that when we get over to the heat press. So let's finish these, and then we can go do that part. Our heat press is all warmed up, and we are ready to go. Now, I will say my Teflon sheets that go with my heat press got misplaced when we redid the craft room. So we will be using parchment paper, but this is great. If you do lose yours, just so you know, you can always use a parchment paper. Now with this bag, I like to flip it this way and try to keep the little ties out of the heat press. I don't like to press them. They also have a little seam there, so it does make it a little more difficult. So we're going to go ahead and just place our items. Honestly, I just eyeball them. Nobody's going to notice if they're not 100% perfect. And so I just eyeball where everything goes. And the nice thing with this, because you're not layering them on top of each other, you can place all your items all at once. And I think that looks pretty even. So I'm just going to swing my heat press over. Oops, I'm actually going to take a piece of parchment paper. I'm so used to having a Teflon sheet that's normally attached, so I don't really worry about it. But with parchment paper, you got to make sure you have that on there. And then we are going to make sure that doesn't slide off. It's kind of curled from still being on the roll. So, and then all we're going to do is slide this up just a little. And it's about, it says about 15 to 20 seconds. So we'll just put our timer on and let it go. This is a smaller heat press. It's like a 9x9. So it's a decent size. If you can have space for it and can afford it, the 15x15 is fantastic. Now it's going to beep. I'm going to let it go just a hair longer just because I do know that it's on burlap and it's glitter, so it may not stick as well. So we'll let that go up. Pull this away. Now glitter HTV is a hot peel, so as soon as you're done pressing, you can peel it, and you should peel it. And we're just gonna take it, and I usually like to just keep it right here on the heat press, or at least close by, so that if something isn't sticking, we can repress. So we'll just peel all this off, and it looks like everything's stuck perfectly. Now, one thing I will say, make sure that you are always turning off your heat press as soon as you're done using it, and unplug it when you're done. So this is the bag. It's super cute. I love the little heart that I added up here. I think it just adds a little element of fun to your bag. And we'll go over and get our little gems, and we'll play a big, nice game of tic-tac-toe. And here is our finished bag. These are so cute for class gifts, work gifts even. They're great for adults. They're just a lot of fun. If you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. I'm always happy to answer those for you. If you're looking for any tutorials, make sure you put that in the comments down below. I post new videos all the time. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit that bell icon. That'll let you know when I post a new video. I hope you guys had a lot of fun and happy crafting.